Okay, so it's been a little while, but we're back. Shed's nowhere near finished, but it's, you know, it's watertight, it's got insulation in, and I chucked some lights on the ceiling. But we need to get on with fixing some motorbikes, predominantly mine. Well, always top of the list, mine. Yeah. Well, anyway, poor old Norton has been somewhat neglected. She's been living outside while this has been done, and we've actually got to the point we've got water sat in the headlight on her. Surprisingly, still started up after about 2 or 3 kicks. Off she went, but she's been out of action for a little while. She's getting rather noisy, a lot of piston slap, and starting to blue smoke a little bit when she's hot. And the kickstart spring snapped. So I'm going to give the thing a bit of a clean up, and we'll take her apart and just see how worn out all the components are. The ones that we already know are worn out, and yeah. Anyway, we'll get it in bits and we'll see how bad it is. Yeah, why not? Right. God, I'm just talking cobblers again. So, cup of tea. So, cup of tea. Take bike apart. Find out how bad things are. That's the plan. Right, onward. Well, first bit of bad news. It turns out, yeah, some of the tools that I left in the panniers have started to go rusty. Luckily, they're not expensive ones. Bugger. Well, that was an oversight on my part, wasn't it? Oh well, not to worry. Well, the dog's decided to come and help, haven't you? What do you think's wrong with the Norton? Oh, it needs sniffing. Does it need sniffing? Yeah? Okay. You carry on your inspection then. What's this? What about this bit? Does that smell okay? What about this bit? Have a smell of this bit. Is that okay as well? Yeah? Is it all okay? Good. There we go. Initial inspection complete. Okay. We're all in bits. Lots of bits. Lots of bits. Sort of came apart relatively easy. That decided to bring the whole stud out instead of taking the nut off the top. And 2 of these are still stuck in the cylinder head. They did some fighting. I think that one and that one. So they've currently been sprayed with a bit of gobbo, and we'll convince them that they want to come out at some point soon. Right, well, apart from being absolutely disgustingly mucky, we're not looking too bad. Yeah, I think we might still have a tiny bit of a weep somewhere on the fuel tank, just looking at the state of that rubber. It's all gone a bit gooey. Can't see any leaking, all looks good, but that rubber's gone a bit manky. Yeah, you never know, this year might be the year I get rid of the grubby old blue bits of towel and buy a full set of tank rubbers. Maybe. I've at least cut up a bit of rubber matting or something, just something that's not, well, blue towel. So yeah, it's come apart. You can see how much oil the thing's been burning. It's a bit black in there, but we've got good reason for it. It's in one of my earlier videos, because this piston's a bit bodgy. We didn't have a full set of rings for it. The ring lands in the piston had closed up, and I had to file them open and bits again just to keep the thing running. And it turns out the gap for the oil rings closed up and locked the oil ring in, which is probably why the top of my piston is covered in oil. And hopefully that's what the smoking was, which is nice. I mean, the little end is nice and free. I was a little concerned about that, just because of how worn everything is. It does have quite a bit of piston slap, but the last time I rode it, when it started smoking, the piston slap went away. So I was a bit concerned that there was that much wear, the piston has sort of gone and cockled and gone, I'm happy at this angle. You know, and the little end got stuck, but that's nice and free and smooth. It is just the, yeah, just the oil ring stuck in. So that's not end of the world. Can't quite take this cover all the way off, simply because of the little grommet-y, whatever you call it. Yeah, nipple, there we go. Oh, I couldn't remember that word. Anyway, little nipple on the end of the clutch cable has downed itself out slightly and no longer fits through the gap. It did fit through the gap because I've taken it off before. But not to worry, the cover itself came off fine. Luckily this gasket stayed intact, it's about the only one. And yeah, that kickstart spring is mullered. It's snapped in two, as you can probably see. Well, it's not actually snapped in two, there's two big pieces there, and it's broken in another location as well, where it hooks on, because there's the rest of it, which nice and conveniently came out with the casing. Saves me taking a gearbox apart looking for bits. So yes, so we've got a snap kickstart spring, nothing more serious than that. I might just, yeah, a bit of emery or a file or something on the edge of that nipple just so I can take that cover off and clean it properly. Overall, it's not too bad in there. It's quite nice and clean, really, for what it is. Try not to drip too much oil down my camera. Yeah. So yeah, I think I'm going to call it quits with this one, with this piston. I've recently acquired another barrel and piston that's quite recently been bored, from what I understand. So we might give that a go. Someone in their wisdom's very badly painted it silver. Probably no worse than what I'd do. Oh, dog's come back. Say hello. Hello. It's got a strange voice for a girl. Hello. Never can tell these days, can you? Right. So yeah, I think somewhere I've got a kickstart spring. Fingers crossed. And we've got a good barrel and piston. Horrible colour, but who cares? You know, it's yeah, if it works, it works. And I'm hoping I can scrape enough gaskets together, or at least find enough gasket paper, so that we can do something about this. Yeah. Lots of cleaning to do, it's manky. Oh, and the O-ring for the carburettor has decided to eat itself. Yeah. Quite what that's about, I don't know. Very tiny mice in the petrol. Yes. Two mice, Ethel and Noel. Right. Okay, so, yeah, we managed to achieve that in the time it took to just about drink me a cup of tea. My disgustingly mucky cup. So, yeah, right. Okay, stop procrastinating, do something. Right, I'll start getting things cleaned up and have a rummage around, see if I can find any parts, and we'll go from there. Yeah, I'll bring you back when there's some progress, or if I decide there's going to be no progress and call it quits. Yeah. Okay, right. Onward. Okay. So, giving her a quick wipe down with an oily rag to make her a bit more presentable. You can see bits like on here where the tank's been rubbing. But of course that's gone squishy and squashed, as squishy things tend to do. Yes, squishy things squash. And the tank's been rubbing and gone through the paint. So I think we are going to have to give up on that tank at some point soon. Yes, there is some rather heavy pitting underneath that paint. Excuse me, I ain't got bits in my teeth, I've just been eating. Those things. Really shouldn't, because I do struggle with the lactose, but yeah, they're nice. I'll have the odd one. By one I mean the odd box. So yeah, dump the oil out because it's due an oil change anyway. I don't think we'll be able to see in here. No, there is a little bit of black sludginess inside there. I'm not going to take the tank off and flush it. I'll stuff some rag in and put a bit of solvent in and just swill it out. So yeah, she's looking a bit more presentable. Fettled the end of the nipple on the cable there, so that's come off nicely. And yeah, we've got enough bits wherever I've put them. There we go. One nice new kickstart spring. Hopefully the right one. Presume it is. Who knows? We'll find out soon. But decidedly better than my 3-part spring that I've got here. And we can see how, yeah, it's obviously been blowing by quite a lot on the compression rings, and that oil ring, the oil control ring there, is properly stuck. It's going to need prizing out, that is. And since it's already been prized out once and filed up the ring lands and whatnot, it's pardon me, I'm classing that one as done. So here's one I prepared earlier, supplied by a friend of mine. He bought it and hasn't used it. There's some watermarks on the bore, if you'd like to call them that, but that still got its honing marks in and whatnot from last time it was done. And I think that piston's been up and down in there just about enough times to run it in, and that's it. Maybe not even that. That might have just been pushed up and down. I don't know. But you pop some nice new circlips in for me. It'd have probably been nice if we didn't put them in, just left them loose, but not to worry. And yeah, everything's nice and free and as it should be. So yeah, that's just going to go in as it is. I'm not going to repaint it, I'm going to leave it its horrible silver colour. As you can see, it's had top fin broken off and someone's cut it smooth at some point. I don't think we're going to let that worry us either. And let's face it, if I really don't like the silver, next time it comes apart, which I'm sure won't be too long, I'll do something to it. And yeah, at that point I'll spray it black. But you know, black paint costs money. Horrible silver paint that's already on doesn't cost money. So you know, we're going for the cheap option, the free option. And yeah, I've had a rummage around. I think I can muster up enough stuff for gaskets. Because of course the rocker top one tore open, and we've got my homemade one on that was there last year, now covered in cobwebs. Only took it off because I had a new one kicking about. I dare say there's no wrong with that, except for it's now jaunty shape for being in the bottom of a box. I've had a rummage around, I can't find any 1/2-inch copper washers, but I found some 12mm ones, so I'll maybe put a little flapper wheel in the drill, make a little flapper for the drill. You know, like use a split pin or a crocodile clip to hold a bit of emery, and see if I can just take them out that 1/2 mil they need to get them to the correct size. Because, well, I really don't want to use the old ones wherever I've put them down. There they are. These things are like paper, they're that thin. I have annealed them time and time again, and they're not worth being there anymore. They don't really do anything. Well, they definitely don't seal. They maybe retard the flow of oil very slightly, but that's about it. So yeah, I'll stop waffling, carry on cleaning bits up, and start putting a few bits back together, and hopefully we can be back on the road. Right, once again, onward. We're nearly there, a little bit more. just about. Take a fraction more off, then start with the other one. Might have to swap hands though, I'm sort of running out of skin on my fingertips. But you know, we're turning 12mm washes into 1/2 inch, so as long as it works. Right, yeah, so there we go. That's 2 really nicely fitting, now 1/2 inch washers. So nice, there we go. And we did that with, that is just a bit of steel rod in the drill, cut a slot in the end and put some emery through. It's out my little die grinding kit. I normally use it for cleaning up cylinder heads and bits like that, but it's done the job grand. And we had to use electric drill because we don't have a compressor at the minute, because we are running off an extension lead from the house. So charging camera and lights on, and I don't think I'd put much in the way of any more ampage through that, because that's a blooming long cable. Right, what was next? Oh, who knows? Anyway, onward. There we go. You know, I might just leave that silver. By the time it's got a little bit of muck in and it blends in with the head a little bit better, it'll, yeah, we'll just pretend it's an alloy bevel. Why not, eh? But yeah, as you can see, it's going back together. Sorted out the stuck nuts in the head. Killed my box spanner. They were that tight it rounded it off, so I've had to resort to the nearest metric thing I've got. But you know, did the job. Put some copper slip on them. Can't find my old tin of copper slip. I've put it in a safe place. So this is my modern tin. It is that modern it boasts that it's lead free. Must be posh, eh? Kill a few less brain cells than the other stuff does. Right, where were we? Yeah, cleaning things up still. Gradually putting them back together. Okay. Completely lost track of what I was doing now. I've picked the camera up. But not to worry. This is still filthy, this head, but I've given it a bit of a wipe down. It is the second head. The other one, yeah, still can't make the valve guides for it because, well, although we have a slightly improved lathe, don't know if I'm keeping this one or not. It was that cheap. It was, yeah, what I paid for it, I'd have paid for the tooling that came with it. So essentially the lathe was free. So when we've got some electric in here, I'll get the thing built up and go from there. But yeah, you never know, it might be for sale soon. Right. Well, oh fuck it. I have completely forgotten what I was doing now. Just rabbiting. Anyway, right, I shall carry on. Still got to clean up the rockers, sort the gearbox out, flush out the oil tank, and then hopefully have it in a position where I can make some noise before it's mega late, although it is heading that way already, according to the little old Nokia, but still. Right, I shall carry on. I'll bring you back when I've done something. Okay, well she's near enough back together. Right, so new kickstart spring, clean out the gearbox, new oil, different barrel and piston. Bit more with the blue sticky stuff than I like using, but some of these gaskets have been used several times. Cleaned out the oil tank, it's got fresh oil in. What else have we done? Oh, you know, stuff. Yeah, valve clearances are all set. Oiled some cables. Yeah, just general bits and bobs gone round. So it is getting late. It's nearly tomorrow. I'm sure it's nearly tomorrow. Let's find a clock. Clock. There'll be one on the. See what the phone's got to say about the job. Yeah, it's nearly tomorrow. So let's see if we can get the thing to fire into life. And yeah, I think we'll call it quits, and I'll tidy the mess up and put the rest together tomorrow, and see how little oil's left in the primary, because well, it's my Norton primary. It doesn't like oil, not internally anyway. Right, so we'll open a door so I don't gas myself. Move a few things out of the way. Bugger, ignition keys in the house. We'll not worry about that then, it's an older Lucas ignition, isn't it? So most things will turn them on. Righty ho. We have ignition. The ammeter is working, so ignition circuit's obviously drawing a charge. Flipping heck, I am knackered. Right, we'll just kick this oil tub out of the way. Where can you guys go? Can you see things from there? Yeah, no enough. Right, break the clutch on it. Good. Flipping out that the clutch won't break. Right, we'll worry about that later. Well, it's definitely got more compression than it had. Let's give it a little bit of choke. Oh, that's okay, isn't it? Cleared up and gone away instantly. Turn for a moment, make sure it's shoving some oil at the cylinder head. But, yeah. Right. Look at that. Tick it over already. That's alright, isn't it? We are going to have to do something about this tank though. I've been trying to avoid lining it as well. Liners are a pain in the arse and modern fuel just eats them. It seems to anyway. So yeah. Oh, replaced an O-ring as well. Forgot about that. That bugger, it's gone all, yeah, a bit harder than it should be. That's the one for the kickstart shaft. So hopefully that won't leak quite as much. Yeah, it's there or thereabouts. Right. I'm going to let this idle for a moment or two, and then I'm going to lock some doors and I'm going to go to bed, and we'll worry about the rest of that tomorrow. Right. Well, if you're still here, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Ta-da.